Hello to all of you amazing web slingers. Welcome to Livin on the Edge, the podcast all about our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. My name is Alec. I am one of your hosts. You can follow me at _the smart Alec on Twitter.
And I'm Brian. You can follow me at Red L Reviews on Twitter.
If you want to follow our podcast on Twitter, you can go to @LOTE_podcast. If you want to follow On Comics Ground on Twitter, you can go to @OnComicsGround. And if you want to go to our website, we post daily reviews, news, editorials, and all that jazz. So, Brian, how are you doing tonight?
I think you have a pretty good idea at this
Yeah.
point.
So yeah.
Everyone, this is our fourth fucking take.
It is. No, it's our fifth take. It's our fifth take.
God, it is, isn't it?
Because of the last one, we had to stop because
of the echo. Yep,
yeah.
That's right.
So what happened was we had one take first where we tripped something up like very early on, so we just started over. Then the second take, we were like right on the topic, and then Craig cut out. We use Craig on Discord, by the way, to record the podcast.
Yeah, it's a bot that records voice channels.
Yeah, which I'd usually recommend, except for today, when...
Today it decided to say, now recording, and then about an hour into the recording, I never joined the channel, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it said, what did it say? It said failed to join.
Yeah.
When it was already in here. So it essentially just...
I am looking at it right now. It is saying recording Craig.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if we accidentally touched something that made Craig leave or whatever. But
if we did, then it would have just ended the recording normally, not failed to record because it couldn't join the thing.
Yeah. So I have no clue what any of this was, but this is our last try for tonight. If it doesn't take, then we're gonna try to record this tomorrow. None of this matters in the grand scheme of things. If this actually does take and come up, we're just rambling because it's been a long day.
Look, much like the Clone Saga, this one fucking episode goes on longer than it needs to be.
That's good segue. Thank you. So we were gonna talk some recent news and stuff, but honestly,
we've done it 5 times and there's nothing really to talk about.
Yeah, so we just want to talk about the main topic and rip it off like a Band-Aid because
Issue 40 of Amazing Spider-Man came and went. That's really it.
And Peter's facing Kindred soon, finally. And Michael Mondo posted a tweet of a scorpion. So
yeah, so that's it. That's all that happened since the last episode. Next episode, we should probably have some news.
Hopefully. Or not. We'll see. Who knows?
I don't know.
It's either
new issues of Spider-Man, Venom, and Spider-Ham are out, so we have something to talk about.
Yeah. So we'll see. Who knows? But anyway, so a few months ago, our good editor James implanted this idea into our heads about an event for March. He called it March of the Clone. So basically, his idea is that for the month of March, we'd record episodes detailing storylines, and characters involving clones in Spider-Man, because that's everybody's favorite thing.
They go hand in hand, spiders and cloning.
Yeah.
Just like how spiders and goblins are natural enemies. That's how it works.
Yeah. So I molded over back and forth. We molded over back and forth about whether or not we do it. We decided to go ahead and do it, and I kept changing the plans on how to do this. Because
every couple of days, I get a message saying, this is how March of the Clones is going to go. okay, this is how March of the Clones is gonna go. Okay, this is how it's gonna go, though.
Yeah, because
there is so much to cover in
I
so little time.
underestimated. Yeah, I underestimated how much of the Clone Saga there was. Which, by the way, not every episode of this is going to be Clone Saga because
this is the only one that's strictly the Clone Saga.
Yeah, because if the Clone Saga can go on for several years, why can't we with this event?
Exactly. We will last just long enough to finish this thing in a couple, however many years it takes.
Yeah. So, with that being said, welcome to March of the Clones. We hope you guys enjoy your stay. We hope you guys will have fun listening to these clone-based episodes.
It's just, think of that scene from Revenge of the Sith with Anakin leading the clone troopers to the temple, except instead of Anakin, it's Ike Perlmutter, and the clones are all Spider-Man.
Yep, that's the mid to late '90s in Marvel in a nutshell. Right
Also
till they
X-Men.
went bankrupt, and X-Men, and selling film rights to different. Because Marvel didn't have a parent.
No,
or maybe they didn't. Did they not have a parent company, or was it just DC that had Warner Brothers?
No, DC had Warner Brothers for decades at that point, but Marvel was all on their own until Disney.
Yeah. Which is weird because they put a lot of their cartoons on Fox Kids. And, like,
right?
Why not just have Fox get Marvel?
I don't know.
Well, with how it turned out today, it kind of happened. So Fox and Marvel are under the same roof. The same roof of the mouse.
True.
They're both under the mouse. So, but so Brian, why don't you tell the audience what we're going to be talking about in this fine episode?
Okay, so today we're covering, as we said, stories from the Clone Saga, and since this is the first episode of March of the Clones, it makes sense that we're basically starting with some of the first stories of it. Yes. More or less. Lost Years is kind of like the outlier there, but it takes place early in the timeline, so like who cares?
Yeah, it's like, so the first year of this timeline is like the original Clone Saga, as it's now called, from the 70s, where it's like Miles Warren had a thing for Gwen and Spider-Man Peter for failing to save her, so he cloned her and then cloned a version of Peter. Then this whole thing happened, the clones got separated, Peter thought his clone died, and then put him in a smokestack and miraculously
survived. Dispose of the body, he shoved him down a chimney.
Yeah, that's real admirable. Very respectful.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
Our hero. So that happened, and someone was like, hey, you know what? Let's bring that back and do that for like 5 years. And then... not across just Amazing Spider-Man, across every single Spider-Man title. Because that's how they did storylines back then. They didn't just have it in one title. They'd separate it.
Yeah, no, Spider-Man had like 4 books, and they were all the same, just different titles.
With different writers. But they pretty much all had...
Yeah, which I know Superman and Batman had the same thing going at the time.
Yeah. They might be doing that now with like Action and Detective Comics and...
well, Batman has like 6 books right now, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Superman only has Superman and Action Comics, and they're both written by Bendis. So, like, there's consistency. I'm not a fan of Bendis Superman, so I'm not reading Superman anymore.
R.I.P. little kid John.
God.
So, anyway, so then, like, year 3 is like, so, like, basically, Ben Reilly is like, oh, I'm alive, I'm a clone, ooh, and I'm gonna be an asshole, but not really an asshole. And then, after, like, 3 years, he falls in love with a woman who looks like Mary Jane. And, they go on a little escapade, and that's not really tied
It's
up.
it's completely irrelevant because 90% of Ben's many supporting casts never show up again after being introduced.
Yeah.
Like the only one that sticks around I can think of is Stewart Trainer.
And Jacob Raven.
I completely forgot about Raven.
Yeah. Well, he shows up like he's in Lost Years, and then he shows up in Ben versus Venom, that whole thing. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, he does show up there,
yeah,
doesn't he?
but it's just like a cutaway, basically. It's not really like, oh, here I am to rain a shitstorm down on Benjamin Riley. It's just,
And
oh,
he just shows up, says hi, and then that's the end of him.
yeah. But so so then that's year 3, and then like year 5, because Marvel's like, oh, this is 5 years.
Yeah, with the sliding time scale, Marvel was like only like 5 years have taken place since the original Clone Saga.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in the end, Batman is worse, because New 52 is like everything that happened in Batman's history took place over 7 years. He had
Yeah,
4 Robins in the span of 7 years.
yeah, but only one Batgirl. Cassandra Cain does not happen until
Yep.
now because
No.
fuck you, you can't be happy.
Yep. Nope. Sandra Cain is the character who has been done the most dirty.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like, can she at least be called Black Bat again and not fucking Orphan?
Nope. Orphan. Can't even wear the symbol. Can't even wear the symbol because
Can she
fuck
at least get?
Cassandra Cain.
Can she at least get the ears?
Nope. You can't be happy.
But why?
That's what I imagined. That's what I imagined Dan DiDio saying before he left. Anyway, but back on topic. We're delaying the inevitable. I'm sorry. This is
It's like, look, Cassandra Cain is cool. This is not.
yeah. So year 5 is basically so Peter is going a little crazy. All
He
because
wrapped himself in a web cocoon and started calling himself the Spider.
yeah. Basically all because Aunt May is dying when she's like 150.
Yeah, like they're straight up drawing her like she's a mummy now. Like,
Yeah. Like he still has a wife. He still has a wife. He still has a life, and and he's
no,
just like, no, I'm the
look,
Spider.
look. If there's anything that we as Spider-Man fans know, Aunt May is all that matters to him.
Yeah. If we don't have Aunt May, then Peter is just no. Even with Aunt May, Peter is like severely angsty and depressed all the time whatsoever, and without Aunt May, he's just nothing more.
Without Aunt May, then he goes nuts.
Yeah.
We
Even if it's
can't
by
have
natural causes.
supervillain Spider-Man.
Nope. Like, it's just like Peter. You know what natural causes are, right? You know that, like, a woman that old is going to eventually enter the heaviside layer, as they say in Cat. So
She's fucking old, dude. She's gonna die anyway.
yeah. So Peter's, going a little loopy, and then right as he's like getting loopy, he sees Ben Riley, his clone, and it's like, what? What is this? Is this trickery? And they duke it out a bit, and then Judas Traveler stuff happens, and
Oh
then
man, Judas fucking Traveler.
yeah,
Oh,
then
so for those who don't know who that is, he's just like weird, mysterious, magical, practically all powerful being who just kind of shows up to understand the nature of evil, and that somehow leads him to, oh, Spider-Man is somehow the cause.
basically it's like, why are all these people in this insane asylum that have been beaten up and captured by Spider-Man? Why are they all obsessed with him? Who knows? Who? It's a mystery.
Yeah,
It's a lemony mystery.
yeah, And then he stares at Carnage and defeats him because they gotta show just how cool he is. Because
Yeah,
Carnage was the coolest thing ever that Marvel ever made in that era.
in the 90s. Yeah. Um, this is like a bit. This was like a couple years after Max Carnage. Yeah,
Yeah, this is a Maximum Carnage is still kind of recent, but like it happened.
yeah, because Shriek and him are in there. Like Shriek is there, Carnage is there, Chameleon is there constantly changing faces because he's just so messed up.
Yeah, which that was cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's like a cool element.
yeah, like his face in this era is basically silly putty, so like it just kind of morphs.
Yeah, which like, and it's like whatever happened to him after he made like the simulacras of Peter's face, just really
God,
just
such a stupid name.
well, simulacra is also a pretty cool iPhone game. It's like it's one of those murder mystery horror like where it's like you're playing on a phone screen thing. It's like the game is somebody's phone. Like, do you know what I mean when I say that?
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I think
Yeah,
I saw it was either Chill Chaos or Markiplier play it one time.
yeah. Uh, it's pretty cool, but it shits itself with a phone bad be scared in. So, um,
Huh.
yeah. But no, the game overall is pretty fun, creepy, and sometimes pretty hilarious. But anyway, so yeah, I just thought of that game when I heard him use simulacras. So,
Yeah, I
but yeah. So Ben is just like, okay.
like
So
Ben just
yeah,
wants to see his kind of sort of aunt in the hospital.
yeah. Pretty much every single issue of what we are talking about so far in terms of Ben is him constantly being like, no, I'm a lie. These feelings are a lie. These memories are a lie. And it's like, okay, like I get it the first two times you say it, but you say it over and over again, and I'm just like,
And it never stops.
yeah, every single page has him inner monologuing about how his life is a lie, about how he is a lie, how he is not real. And it's like,
Yeah.
Ben, we get you've been at this for 5 years. You've been alive for 5 years. You've been sentient for 5 years.
No,
You,
don't count.
yep, no. Gotta address to everybody that well, I mean, to be fair, this is his introduction. So
Yeah, his early stories where he's like first showing up and being like, "Oh, woe is me, I'm just a clone." Like that's fine.
but
By
it
like
does get kind of grating.
by like issue 30, I'm like, "Shut the fuck up.
We get
Enough.
it.
Go away."
Ben Riley is just like 90s skater, edgy Peter, pretty much. At least
No,
that's
that's
how I see
Kane.
him. Well, I mean, like in terms of how Ben is like pretty much just Peter, but with some edginess. Kane is like a whole different person.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, he's Ben is Peter with his angst turned up to the maximum degree possible.
Yeah, and Kane is just 100% angst.
Kane is like basically Punisher Spider-Man without guns.
He has the mark of Kane, and that's
Yeah, which I won't lie, I really like that. That's kind of cool
oh,
to
it's a
me.
cool thing. Yeah. We
Like,
got to talk about like Back in Black one day when Peter gives the mark of Cain to Craven's wife.
oh yeah, that was that was fucked.
Yeah. But no. So this first storyline in the Clone Saga, the thing about the Clone Saga is it's not a straightforward storyline.
No,
It's a collection of storylines.
it's just multiple storylines. It's just that they take place in this era where it's like, oh man, who's the real Spider-Man and who's the clone?
And when they finally decide at the end, it's like, nope, that's not the ending either.
Nope. They try to end this thing like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
So
we kind of are. Okay, we were at Judas Traveler. I know that.
Judas Traveler. So this whole arc involves Judas Traveler giving Spider-Man an ultimatum where he's like, "Hey, Spider-Man, you gotta come here, or else I'm gonna either fucking kill all the inmates or set them free." And Peter's like, "Well, I don't have much of a choice, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna mosey on over to
Yeah, it's
Ravencroft."
okay.
Yeah, Dr.
And,
Kafka and John Jameson and her assistant, who's Vermin,
yeah,
all get.
which he turns him into Vermin and then turns him back like right after, like, oh man, I don't want to add to his suffering. He's fucked up.
Yeah,
And then
it's like,
dumps him in with like a bunch of crazy people.
oh no, he dumps him outside.
Oh, okay. I thought he teleported him in with like inmates or something.
No, 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 no. That would be like, okay, I understand you even less now, Judas. But
But I mean, I still understand him less with. I want to see what you really are. Oh, you're a fucking freak. Okay, you get out of here.
yeah. Um, but I don't know. I'm just so basically the whole arc revolves around Peter trying to fight Judas Traveler. Judas Traveler, uh, fucks his head up and gets inside his head
Yeah,
and like locks
yeah,
him in.
and Peter has a full-on mental breakdown.
Oh yeah, and it's
Like he's not necessarily in a straitjacket, but he's in this really weird chain bar thing.
it looks like something I have seen before, but I do not know where.
It looks
Like,
like from the '90s cartoon. Like
yeah,
just straight up, it looks like something that you would use to capture Spider-Man in the '90s cartoon.
yeah, like so basically there's that. Which by the way, all of this juxtaposes very heavily with the fact that he's like still in his bright red and blue costume, and like
Yeah,
I know that's like I know some people might say like, oh, that's the point with darker Spider-Man stories, but I'm like, this is just very far removed from like,
this is not Spider-Man.
yeah,
Like
this is just like,
this is
I don't know.
nonsense.
Yeah.
This is a
And
bad Batman book.
yeah. Like I feel like in the 90s they tried to make Spider-Man so much like Batman.
Oh, 100%, especially after Dark Knight Returns like took off like
Yeah.
crazy.
And then
Everyone wanted to be Batman.
and the culmination was Spider-Man Reign, which we'll have to talk about,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Um
Yeah.
but so so basically Ben is just looking after May and is asked to make a decision because
Yeah.
one of Judas
Ben
Traveler's,
is being Spider-Man,
yeah, and
which
Peter's not.
is which is going into my theory that I'll talk about towards the end of this episode.
Oh yeah. Um
I
but like
mentioned it in like one of our 50 takes today.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah. So basically, Ben is just staying with May, and then one of Judas Traveler's lackeys is like, "Hey, Ben, come to Ravencroft, or we're gonna fucking kill your brother." Um,
We're gonna kill your genetic template. What the fuck even are you guys?
yeah, yeah, like and like Ben even considers for once like, I can let them kill him, and I can take his life for myself.
Yeah, like, hey,
Okay,
I can live.
yeah. And then he's like, but too bad, I have good
Yeah,
people things, and so I'm not.
yeah, it's like, but Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's pretty much everything this arc boils down to. It's like, I could be an asshole, but
Yeah, which that's like every Spider-Man story where he considers being an asshole.
yeah.
Like,
But
I could do this, but and then he just
Uncle
looks
Ben,
over. He just looks over and just sees Ben with his arms crossed, shaking his head.
no, 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 just shaking his thing of rice. I don't
He's eating a bowl.
like. I just imagine like every time Peter is tempted with like a decision, and like the memory of Ben is creeping up on him. He just hears the faint sound of a box of Uncle Ben's rice just shaking behind him in his ears. Like it's like from Hereditary, the clicking of a little girl. That's what
There you,
Peter hears whenever
there
Uncle
you go.
Ben's, yeah. Um That's his telltale sign to Uncle Ben's. But anyway, so Ben goes out in a Spider-Man mask and gloves to help Peter. He helps Peter get free, and Peter still tries to beat him up because Peter's being an asshole. And
Yeah.
then Judas Traveler just frees all the inmates, and he's like, "Okay, y'all motherfuckers, just I don't care about y'all anymore." And then
Hey, you ever read Nightfall? Guess what? We just did that now.
yeah, so Ben and Peter have to essentially work together.
Yeah, and
Beat
they beat up generic inmates and some low-level supervillains and
then
Carnage.
yeah, and Judas Traveler just gets away.
Yeah, he leaves right as Scryer fucking shows up and starts talking to him.
Yeah, and like, and then there's this weird thing at the end. Okay, well, first, like, he tricks Ben into going into this car where there's a car bomb, and then it blows up, and Ben just disappears. So that's that. And then Peter goes to face him in Kafka's office, and then Judas does his quintessential stare down, which just makes him win automatically.
Yeah, his eyes glow a little, and that's it.
Yeah, so Peter is down. Kafka goes into her office, gets a letter, which they themselves, which Judas Traveler and his lackeys made and
Yep.
wrote, where it's like a fake letter saying that that the guy wasn't the real Judas Traveler or something. It's
Yeah,
literally like a comedy.
I want to say the plan was there is a real Judas Traveler who's like an actual psychiatrist, and this dude just like took his name.
But they were the ones who wrote the letter too, so it's like,
Look, I mentioned it in one of our takes. Literally, no one knew what Judas Traveler's deal was.
yeah, because his whole thing is just like, I want to study evil, and it's like, okay,
What does that mean?
how? Yeah, like, how are you gonna do that? By just being like, why do all these inmates hate Spider-Man so much when all he did was, thwart their plans and capture them? Hmm. Who knows?
Like, if you want to study evil, then you even mention yourself to spend like 5 minutes in a room alone with Carnage.
Yeah, and he doesn't do that.
No, he looks at him and then just beats him. Like
Yep.
Cletus just falls unconscious, and his symbiote is just like like a wacky flailing inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yeah, no. This arc is
Bad.
yeah, it's very overly angsty and just I don't know. How do we get from Craven's Last Hunt to this? Is
What
what I'm like.
happened was Marvel needed money.
Yeah.
Marvel needed a
And
lot of money.
90s Edge, we can't forget that.
Oh yeah, no, that's just normal. We need the super dark and gritty, overly designed characters all over the place.
Yeah, it's like Peter's just very out of character. Like even with the given circumstances, it's like
Yeah,
all that's happening that's making Peter like this messed up is that his aunt is dying of natural
yeah,
causes.
yeah.
So
Well, no, I'll hold off on that till towards the end. Never mind.
yeah. So it's just like I don't know. I don't know what this whole thing was about. It was just to
Yeah, I
make
guess it was just
Peter
to introduce,
yeah.
Ben as like, hey, there's another Spider-Man now.
And as shown in the arc with Puma and Daredevil later, Peter learns nothing. He learns
Yeah,
nothing.
he learns literally nothing from.
He is shown like all of his darkest parts of his mind and all the events of his life and shown that he has to overcome that and he learns nothing.
Yeah,
So
but
I don't know.
yeah. All right. What was after Judas Traveler?
Well, chronologically, in terms of release, what's after this has been uh, we still have Ben versus Venom, The Lost Years, and Spider-Man, Puma, and Daredevil, all that.
Okay.
What do you want to do first? Pick your poison. Pick your poison.
Uh, I don't. Let's go with Ben and Venom, I guess.
All right. So basically, Ben just is like, "Oh, I survived that car bomb. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh, look at
mosey
that! I'm
around in
alive.
New York. Yeah, I'm gonna mosey around in New York for a bit, and just do nothing, and like tell myself I'm gonna leave." He's basically like an addict telling himself I'm gonna quit anytime, when telling himself
Yeah.
he's gonna leave New York like the next day and the next day and the next, but he doesn't leave. So he's just like, okay, well, and then he sees the famous Scarlet Spider hoodie in a museum, and he's like, I'm gonna steal that because it looks
Yeah,
pretty
I want
cool.
that.
Yeah. Don't find out where he gets his red skin suit from, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. So basically, what happens now is that Venom comes back into town
Yeah, he does his
because
lethal protector thing. Like,
like, why does he come back into town to begin with? Because he doesn't know Scream is there. Because by the way, Scream is in this story too. For
uh,
um,
he's here because this is the '90s, and Venom is the most popular thing Marvel has ever made.
yeah, that's pretty.
Like that's
Um,
literally it. And like at this point in time, Venom and Peter had like a truce going where like as long as they don't mess with each other, they just stay out of each other's business.
yeah. Um, so
Which
then
Ben
Ben
is like, what the fuck? Spider-Man would never do that.
and like Ben just like is like, oh fuck that truce. I'm gonna kick the
Yeah,
shit out of Venom.
I'm gonna go beat him up.
Yeah, and he fails until he doesn't, and then when he beats him, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna leave him here.
Yeah, it's like I've proven I can beat him
It's like
once.
I'm gonna
I'm
leave
out.
him. I'm gonna leave him and the other symbiote here, and
Yeah,
that's it.
look,
Which, by the way,
my
it's just funny to me that they always call her the female symbiote. It's like, yeah, okay,
this
we get it. She's a woman.
and also there's another one like Agony,
Yeah, so it's like,
the, who is basically just a purple Scream, but like
but it's just like, just call it the other. I don't know.
like
It,
okay, like
it's like they're so shocked that there's
Scream
a
is
female.
yellow. Yeah, like Scream is just yellow carnage with hair.
Yeah, and it's
Like
like,
that's it.
yeah, it's like Ben is so shocked that like I didn't know symbiotes could be women, and it's like, okay, uh,
Wow. Okay, way
they're
to be sexist there, buddy.
yeah, they're alien symbiotes. Why
They're
would they only
made
go
of
to?
goo.
Why would they go to male host exclusive? I don't know. This is a weird tidbit. It's just a weird thing of writing. But so during this, oh, I forgot to mention this was happening in the last issue and the last storyline and this storyline and the next one too. MJ's flying out to Pennsylvania
Oh yeah,
to
I
see
forgot
her
about that.
family. Yeah, she goes to, which I have some thoughts on this because I do not like one of these things at all. Um,
Oh boy.
she goes to visit her sister and her father and make amends with both of them, but I'll talk more about that uh, when we get to Spidey and Puma and Daredevil and all that. But basically, this whole thing is just basically Ben becoming Scarlet Spider and just
Yeah,
fucking up shit for Venom.
yeah. Which I'll say, I love the Scarlet Spider suit.
Oh, I do, 100%. It's a great.
Yeah, like that is a good way of like there. It's distinct enough from Spider-Man to be its own thing, but similar enough that you can tell this is a Spider-Man
Exactly. It's a
character.
good design. And I don't know why they wanted to try to redo it for the new Ben Riley book that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, and they got rid of it after like 5 issues
Yeah. But
because everyone hated it.
yeah. Um but basically so yeah, this whole thing is basically just Ben versus Venom. And then and
Yeah,
also there's a reporter from the Bugle trying to interview Venom, and it's just funny imagining a reporter being like, I'm gonna go interview the big alien with sharp teeth because why not?
yeah, yeah. Let's go interview the alien goo monster psycho who kills people.
Yeah, just it'd be fun. Why not? I'd spend my Tuesdays that way. Um,
Pulitzer, here I come, says
oh,
every single reporter in fiction.
yeah. I forgot his name. It's not Ben Urich, because he's like, I'm gonna put Ben Urich to shame. Or
Yeah, Ben Urich is busy figuring out what Daredevil's deal is right now.
yeah, because Daredevil's going through a thing,
Oh,
which we'll
he is
talk about
going
soon.
through a thing, all right.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, there's not much to say about Ben and Venom except that
Yeah,
it's just Ben and
it's just a
Venom.
fight.
Yeah, it's just 4 issues of one fight, and Venom like refuses to listen to Scream when she's like begging him for help.
Yeah, it's
Like it
like,
doesn't.
like, dude, the other symbiotes are a bunch of psychos. Are you at least kind of rational? And Venom just tries to eat her.
So basically, her hope is proven wrong because
Yeah,
like
no, like,
all she is asking, like Venom doesn't even consider that there's like an innocent host trapped under there, which basically is what the narration says. Is that
yeah,
yeah
he
that
just tries to rip the symbiote off and kind of succeeds until they pass out, and then he fights Ben again.
yeah. Um, which here is when Ben creates impact webbing, which is
Yeah,
pretty
which,
cool.
yeah, I love it. That's a really cool gadget that needs to be used more.
Yeah, and then the game stole it. Well, no, a lot
Yeah,
of games stole it anyway, but
yeah, no, every game uses it because it's such a good power.
yeah. Um, but basically, like it's it's just like a fan servicey fight, and then being like, okay, here's the Scarlet Spider. He's here.
Yeah,
He's here to mess things up for Peter, but not
yeah,
really. Who
yeah.
knows?
He's here to maybe be our new Spider-Man. Who knows?
Who knows? You'll find out in 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. You'll find out in many issues.
Yeah. But so basically that's that. I think that's all we can really say about that because there's not much to it, at least from what I
Yeah,
remember.
no, it's just like the most interesting thing about it is the truce I mentioned between Peter and Venom, and Ben is like, Spider-Man would never make a truce with a murderer. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, and also this is the first appearance of Kane.
Oh yeah, that's right. Kane does make his first appearance in this story,
Yeah. He
and
just
he
is
just
like
stands there
he just stands there. He's just standing there menacingly.
menacingly.
But like he just stands on the rooftop watching Ben. And he's like, soon enough, I'll give him the mark of Cain. Ooh.
Oh, also, this is an appearance of Craven's stupid '90s son.
Yeah, before his stupid 2020s son.
Yeah,
Um,
he had another son who had this really dumb looking, like, almost robot arm, but I think it's just armor. I don't know.
yeah.
And like he's just so stupid.
We also see Jacob Raven, who's from the Lost Years, which we'll talk about soon because that's going to be a doozy. Um,
Yeah,
but
that is a thing, I guess.
yeah. So that's that. That was just it was all right.
Yeah, it was basically just meant to establish Ben as Scarlet Spider, and that's pretty much it.
And have a fun fight between him and Venom to establish that this guy is an actual deal.
Yeah,
So
and I think to give Ben a little bit of a status quo and supporting cast that will go away in like 3 issues,
yeah,
because
that's
it
very
happens
true.
every time.
It happens all the time. Even in the Peter David series, it happens.
Yeah, like
So
anytime it seems like Ben has finally gotten a status quo, it's immediately thrown out the window.
yeah. It's not like Donny Cates' Venom where it's like it thrives off of not having a status quo because everything is just so insane for Eddie that he cannot
Yeah,
have one.
yeah. Like the difference is like that is written without a true status quo in mind, whereas this is clearly trying to set status quos that it just keeps throwing away.
Yeah. But basically, like that's that. Then the last bit of thing for like the current publication uh, in the publication. I don't know how to say it, but basically what happens immediately after this is Spider-Man versus Puma, and then he teams up with Daredevil versus Owl, um, and the whole time Peter's like, I want to fucking kill Peter Parker because
Yeah.
reasons, because I have learned nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm still insane. That didn't go
Yeah.
away. And,
Um,
and Puma is here, and he's basically a animal man Craven
and you
almost
have
to me.
Nocturne. You have Nocturne doing her thing, which I've never heard of her until Clone Saga.
I was about to say I completely forgot she was even in this
Is
issue.
she that one character from the animated series, the police detective that was like involved in the Carnage storyline?
Maybe.
Because I thought her name was Angela, and like in the comic, Nocturne's name is Angela. So I don't know.
I will look it up right now because
Thank
now
you,
you have.
because
Now I'm curious.
yeah, because I don't know. But basically, it's just 2 issues of Peter doing stuff with her and Puma, and then he seeks out Daredevil.
Yeah, he runs into Daredevil, who is going through his very short-lived fall from grace period.
Where it's like, okay, I don't know what happened to Daredevil at this point, but Matt Murdock's not really dead at this point, is he? He just faked it.
No, he's just crazy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what happened is Fall from Grace. That was like the first time Matt Murdock's identity was revealed to the world.
Oh, yeah.
But it's never referenced in any other story because it was meant to, it was in early 90s. You got to shake things up for heroes, and like Daredevil was like the last classic Marvel hero at this point who hadn't been changed. And
So
then
they just
and then Fall from Grace is like, hey, what if we just inject pure 90s into him? And that's why he has that stupid black and red and silver suit.
Yeah, I was about to say that suit looks like a bad U.S. agent.
It really is, and that's saying something because I'm pretty sure at this point in time, U.S. Agent was just dressing as Judge Dredd.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Oh god.
but anyway, yeah, the idea is like Matt Murdock is quote unquote dead, so that Daredevil can still be Daredevil.
Yeah, so basically
Yeah.
Peter's like, "Oh, Matt, like, please, I know you're Matt Murdock," and Matt Murdock's like, "No, I'm not. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, no, he's dead. There's his grave right there.
Yeah, and he's like,
Don't dig up the body though. There's nothing in there. I mean, there's totally a body.
if I were Matt Murdock, I'd tell you to kill Peter Parker, bury him, and forget about him. But then again, I'm not Matt Murdock. And it's like, okay, sure, buddy. So basically, this 2-issue arc thing is about like. Oh, by the way, in one of the Puma ones, it's like Peter. There's just this funny moment that I like because it's stupid, but it's funny. Whereas like Peter's carrying Puma, or he's carrying Nocturne. He's like, man, I wish there were more than one of me. And then like you see Ben Reilly right around the corner, just swinging.
That's right. That was good.
Yeah.
That was genuinely good. I like that.
But the 2-issue arc with Daredevil was more interesting to me because like the story with Owl and Vulture was reflecting both Daredevil and Spider-Man, which I did kind of like.
Yeah, which as someone who is currently reviewing the current Daredevil run, it is weird to see Owl being like a kind of okay guy.
Because now he's just not.
No, now he's a full-on psychopath.
Oh, okay.
Like Hell's Kitchen is on fire and he's laughing.
By the way, I haven't caught up on Daredevil, everybody. I have to because I read the beginning of the new run and it was very, very. But
go check it out, please. It's very good, people.
Yeah. So basically, Vulture and Owl are like, we gotta find a way to kill our past. Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. The OG Kylo Ren's a.
The OG Kylo Ren was fucking Vulture.
Oh my. But this is also when Vulture's going through his thing where it's like, now I'm a young man.
Yeah, I was about
Sucked
to
the
say
life force.
this was '90s Vulture, who was the one who sucked the youth out of people.
I thought that was just a thing for the animated series. I had no clue that they actually had that in the '90s
Same.
comic. I had
I did
no
not think
clue.
that was a comic thing. I thought that was just to give him something to do in the cartoon.
And suck the youth out of Peter. And
And
there was
then he
literally like
became Man Spider, and then it
yeah,
just went away.
there was like an episode where Peter was just like an old man under the suit, and it's the funniest thing ever. And
Yeah,
the woman's like,
like
Spider-Man, I didn't know you were a senior citizen. And it's like,
yeah, like he tries to swing away, and he's like, "Oh, my hip."
yeah, God. But anyway,
That was a
um,
fun episode,
it
though.
was. So yeah, Vulture and Owl are like, okay, we have this plan. Vulture's like, okay, I have this plan, to kill our past selves for good. We're just gonna kill everybody in New York. And Owl's like, is
What?
there any other plan to that? And he's like, no, we're just gonna kill everybody. It's like,
Yeah.
how does that do us any favors? And he's like, I'm just gonna kill everybody. And it's
Look,
like,
if everyone's dead, there will be no one to call the cops on us. Because there'll be no cops.
and as Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls once said, when there's no cops around, anything is. So,
Exactly.
so
Grunkle Stan is a man to live by. I tell
he
you.
is. Uh, God,
Every lesson he teaches is the truth.
I need to rewatch Gravity Falls soon. I have like a
Same.
big poster on my wall in my room at home, and I got the collector's edition of the Blu-ray when it came. Like that
Oh,
was
nice.
yeah, because I love that show. That show like stuck
It's
with me for a
great.
long. It's one of the best cartoons in recent.
Yeah. I
But
gotta check out the Owl House, which is like the new one.
oh yeah, I especially have to because like the witch character in it is based off of a character from like one of my favorite classic anime series. Like she is
Oh,
straight up based on this character. So that's why I have to watch it eventually. But
cool.
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Vulture's just like we're gonna fucking kill everybody in New York with vultures. We're gonna have vultures scratch everybody and inject the deadly poison into them.
And Owl's like, okay, but where do owls come into play here?
Yeah. Nope, no owls, just vultures. And, and
Then
then
why
Owl
am I
was like,
here?
yeah, that's all. He's like, why am I doing this? If there's no owls, why am I doing this? But basically, what happens pretty much is that Peter gets scratched with it, so he's dying. Then Owl has a change of heart and gives him the antidote,
Yeah.
and he and Daredevil take in Vulture, I believe. Hold on, I'm burping. Okay, Chris in the episode finally. Thank you. Um,
Damn, we
but
almost went a full episode without it.
yeah. But anyway, so we think Peter's cured because Owl gave him the cure. But then at the end we find out, nope, he's still dying. Um, the all Owl gave him was tap water. I like how he
That's
specifically
right.
said. I like how he specifically says Owl gave him tap, like not just water, like tap water, to really like to really be like, oh, I'm gonna kill you even more with bacteria.
I hope you like lead.
Oh my god.
That's great.
God.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that part.
Yeah, so this is all juxtaposed with MJ, who is in Pennsylvania visiting her sister,
Yep.
and making amends with her. Which, by the way, they make amends pretty easily, and I think that's fine. But
Yeah.
then she tries to make amends with her abusive father, and
Yeah, that's not good.
yeah, he tries to be like, you know how much it hurt me whenever I hurt your mother, and I'm like, and MJ's
Fuck
just like,
off.
MJ's just totally like, oh yeah, I bet it hurt. I'm so sorry, Daddy. And I'm like, MJ,
You did literally nothing wrong. You
yeah,
have nothing to say sorry for.
all you did was play dolls with your sister in the backyard, and your father came running out like a maniac, telling you all to keep it down when you were being quiet to begin with.
Yeah, no,
Like,
your dad is an abusive, drunk asshole loser.
yeah, and I'm glad like every adaptation of the comics since then have been like, no, MJ's father wasn't. Like he was on.
Yeah, yeah. No, every other version they skip past the concept of them ever like reconciling and just go straight to no, he's an asshole and will be for.
But it just shows how much times have changed since, because like back then, if it was like, if you felt like back then, it wasn't uncommon for them to paint abusive parents as sympathetic figures. So like,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
now that
know.
I think about it, it was kind of common, that idea of abusers can be good people. And it's like,
If they try again, it's like
yeah, and
you
it's
had a
like,
chance to try.
stop.
Like, here's what I'm going to say to everybody: if you are unsure if you can parent kids, do not have kids. Do not
Yeah,
adopt kids if you are unsure that you can take care of them, or if you're unsure that you can deal with them. Do not. Not
yeah,
for your sake, but for theirs.
yeah.
Like, just don't. Just don't do it.
It is one thing I will gladly give like most Hulk comics, where they rarely ever shy away from the fact that Bruce's dad was a total abusive asshole his
And I
entire life.
saw, wasn't there one recently where it's like a girl's father, like, legit tries to kill her because
Oh
of,
yeah, no, there's a cop during like a rally where like Hulk has been like inspiring people to, change and fix the world. And
like, an old ass boomer cop who's like, the world used to
yeah,
make sense,
yeah,
and now it
exactly. Like
doesn't.
he just wants the world he knew back. And so and his daughter has this Hulk mask on, and he's like, I don't know that's her, even though I do, and I feel threatened. So he just instantly pulls his gun and then shoots at her, and then Hulk jumps down and blocks the bullet.
Good. I like that. Like, I saw that, I'm like, man, this is doing so much more for social commentary than like any other
It is
comic out
Immortal Hulk is the most political comic I've ever read, and I fucking love it.
there. I have to read it. I will. I will get on it.
Yeah, like
I have so
like
much on my
if this
plate.
wasn't a Spider-Man book, this episode, a Spider-Man podcast, every episode would just be me gushing about Immortal Hulk that came out that week.
I don't blame you because it looks very good. Um, but yeah. So uh, yeah, that's like the one thing with MJ that I did not like at all. But I
Yeah,
did like the
no,
juxtaposition at the end where it's like, as we're getting further away from Peter, we're closing in more on MJ right next to him.
yeah,
I thought that was a good little panel play thing.
yeah.
Um,
Like I, I liked that she made up with her sister because they weren't really mad at each other. They just had bad circumstances.
yeah. But I hate that they were like, oh no, her father's actually not a bad person.
Yeah, which I want to say future stories would ignore this,
I think they did, yeah.
because especially modern ones, if they ever talk about her dad, because you nowadays, like we said, you can't really do that with
Yeah.
abusers anymore. You
He's
shouldn't
not a
be able to
bad
do it to begin with, but
he's not a bad person. Just had bad luck. Flint Mark, Spider-Man 3. Um,
to which I say, fuck you.
yeah. Um,
You still shot a man.
yeah. But it was an accident. My finger was on the trigger. And then
Why?
boom. Then
Your
Michael
friend
Papa John. Because Michael Papa John distracted me. That's such a bullshit excuse. I'm sorry. It's like,
No, that is my least favorite part about Spider-Man 3, and the reason I can never like it.
I like the emotion of the scene. And I like what they were going for, where it's like Peter has to finally like let go and like forgive the
Yeah,
man responsible,
that
because the
that's an
guy,
okay idea.
because it does. I get, if it was done better, it could have shown like the dichotomy between both of their ideologies and how
Yeah,
not everybody who does bad things is an evil.
yeah. At the same time, though, I I kind of preferred like Avatar: The Last Airbender did a very similar idea with Katara and the man who killed her mom, where
Yeah,
she let him go, but she never forgave him because why should
yeah,
she?
yeah. Like, I love that the episode like was mature enough to be like, no, sometimes forgive you can't forgive people.
Yeah,
People do
like
unforgivable things.
yeah, like you don't have to forgive every bad person after they do a bad thing, even if they feel sorry for it, that doesn't change anything.
Like, you can if you want to take that road, but like, you don't have to. You're not a bad person for not forgiving a worse.
Yeah,
So
no, exactly. You're not a bad person for
yeah,
choosing to not forgive someone
yeah.
for something horrible they did to you.
I also like that showed the difference between Aang and Katara's ideology, because
Yeah,
they're
that's
both
great. Like
yeah,
Aang is all about forgiveness and second chances, and Katara's like, no,
yeah,
like this is he killed my mom. That's not okay.
yeah. It's why they make a good couple. Have
Yeah,
you
exactly.
read the comics that took place afterwards? Like, they both call each other like pet names, and it's the like funniest thing ever.
That's cute.
Yeah,
I've read
it's
a
cute.
couple of them. Like God, I still to this day I was so mad about Zuko's mom at the end when he asked his dad about where she was, and then they never mentioned it for the rest of the episode because it was the end.
Then they did it in the search, and it was like her
Yeah,
memories and face were changed. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta read those soon. I'm excited for the live action series as long as it's good.
yeah. I also got to read the Korra books. Like,
Yeah, I haven't seen Korra yet. Um,
it's
I
pretty
I
good.
should. Yeah,
Like,
I've heard it's pretty good, but not nowhere near as good as
like,
Avatar.
yeah, like compared to Avatar, most of the time it's not quite as good, but in my opinion at least, the best episodes of Korra are better than the best episodes of Avatar.
Oh wow, that's that's
But
bold.
overall, Avatar is a better show.
Yeah, except for the Great Divide. Um,
Oh
you
yeah,
know
no,
that's going to be the one episode they cut from the live action show. They are
I
not
will.
doing that episode.
I want them to do the thing they did in the season 3 recap, where where in the play they're flying over it, and they're like, "Look, it's the Great Divide. Let's just fly over it."
Yeah. Uh, God, that's funny. But,
That
okay,
show's great.
we got to get back to uh the the stuff we do not want to talk about.
Do we have to? Because
We
can we turn
do.
this into an Avatar podcast?
Unfortunately, we cannot. We have one more story to go over.
All right,
That's the
all right.
Lost
I'll
Years.
make that pitch to James when we're done with this, then, so I can
Okay.
just I can talk about something I like.
But so the Lost Years detail what Ben was up to between the original Clone Saga and the Clone Saga,
Yeah, the
basically.
current one. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the events that led up to his return to in like Aunt May's hospital or whatever.
So first there's like the Lost Years number 0, which is like a 65-page issue showing what happened to him when he was created, what happened
Yeah,
to him immediately after,
yeah. Which,
where did he go, and
yeah,
like,
which I just want to add that I really liked the panels of like his birth, where like it's all just a bunch of cells, and then there's like a syringe that injects into the cell, like forms into a baby.
and then forms into a man.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool with like the way the
Yeah.
art that.
Which, by the way, I actually do like this number 0 issue because
It's
it's
all
a
right.
nice little it's an all right story showing what happened to Ben and what um drove him to become the person he
Yeah,
uh like he essentially gets on a bus and leaves New York and goes
yeah.
to
Like
San
my
Francisco.
yeah, like my one issue with it is the idea that he immediately like ran away from Jackal, and then Jackal just flew after him and used the Gwen clone to get his attention, and that was just weird.
Yeah.
Like that was
Uh,
pointless. You could have just cut straight to the Spider-Man fight.
yeah. Also, the way Miles Warren treated Ben was just ugh. I don't know. A lot of it just made me super uncomfortable, and I get that's kind of the point, but
Yeah, no, it's
ugh,
definitely what they're going for. Like we were talking about abusive dads. Miles is a super abusive dad.
yeah. Um,
Poor
and that's
Kane.
even poor Gwen clone too, because oh god,
Poor every single Gwen clone that this guy
yeah,
makes. Like all
god,
those fucking stripper ones that walk around his house at one time.
what? I have not seen that.
Oh, there's a whole thing where it's like a bunch of half-naked Gwen clones or like his servants or whatever.
Oh my god, that's just wrong. I don't care how much you have to make your villain like terrible. That is just wrong. Like,
Welcome to the Clone Saga.
ugh. Wasn't there one with Deadpool and the Gwen clones too? Were those the same Gwen clones?
I would not be shocked if that was a thing.
Ugh.
I,
Anyway,
I don't read much
um,
Deadpool, so I don't know.
yeah. Anyway, so the issue 01 is pretty cool because it shows Ben trying to figure out who he is, and it ends with him realizing, okay, I'm Ben Riley. Then the
Yeah,
3 issues after it,
yeah. Which I will say, I really liked that the bit with like the fat guy on the bus, where
oh yeah,
like the guy's just talking to him about how crappy his life is, and Ben is like, "Could you just shut up and go away? I've had a
yeah,
bad day. Leave me alone." And then he feels bad about it, and as soon as he like busts into his motel room, the guy's about to shoot himself till he saves his life.
yeah,
Like that
because
was a really good moment for me.
yeah, like that did show like yeah, this guy is a good person deep down,
Yeah,
but
he was just having an existential crisis at the
yeah.
moment.
But then we get to these next few issues that detail not only Ben 3 years after his birth, but Kane too. And even though the issues in Kane's introduction show that they haven't met each other yet, this one's like, oh no, they did. They knew
Yeah,
each
no,
other.
they totally knew each other, and Kane has been trying to. Kane is Ben Riley's Sabretooth.
Yeah,
Like
pretty
just
much.
straight up, he is a Sabretooth.
And like we talked about this in one of our many takes before, but Kane looks so stupid in the Lost Years. I am so sorry. Please don't.
Oh my god, John Romita Jr., this is not your best work. I'm sorry.
Like he just looks so animalistic, and it's like we're supposed to believe that this guy is like a legit genetic, almost perfect clone of Peter Parker, who just looks like him but with like long hair and a
Yeah,
beard.
like I understand the idea that Kane is a fucked up clone. Like he's supposed to be bigger and he is disfigured and all, but Kane in this book, when he starts like deteriorating, he looks like he's crumbling. Like
He has like weird red. He looks like he's on Venom, like Bane Venom.
yeah, basically, like he's just like his eyes turned full fucking young blood white, and like he's just he looks so stupid.
Yeah, and so
Like
basically, what happens?
before he starts like
Yeah,
fully falling apart and he has like sunglasses and shit on, I swear he looks like a hairy dog, the bounty hunter.
he does. Yeah,
Like
we said that in one of the. But yeah. No. Now just imagine Tom Holland doing that.
I will pay as much money as possible to
Uh,
see fucking Tom Holland try to be edgy Kane.
Not just Edgy Kane, but like animal Edgy Kane.
Yeah, no, I want John Romita Jr. Kane on the fucking big screen.
That's not me making fun of Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland's a great actor. And did you
Oh,
see the leaked
100%.
photo? Did you see the leaked photo from Cherry, where it's
Yeah,
like him looking in the mirror? Like
yeah.
he's got him for that Oscar. But I
I
cannot see him as he is now. As
no, like especially with like his Spider-Man stuff. No, I cannot see him doing it, but I want it so bad.
yeah. But anyway, so this part of the Lost Years is like 3 years after Ben and Kane are born. They're both in Salt Lake City for some reason.
Yeah,
Um,
they both left New York and went to the exact same place.
yeah, somehow, some way, who knows? And then Kane falls in love with this woman who looks like Gwen, and Ben falls in love with a woman who looks like Mary Jane. So and the weird thing
It,
about Ben is that he's like, I've never felt this way about anybody before, and it's like, you have Peter's memories,
it,
probably did.
yeah, but the thing is that the 70s Clone Saga was like Wait, but a clone wouldn't remember to love Mary Jane. I must be the real one. When it's like, that's not how that works.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you explicitly stated earlier in the issue, that's not how that works.
Oh, and also this was made. The Lost Years was made after the revelation, quote unquote, that Ben is the original Peter Parker and Peter Parker is the.
Yeah. And I believe it's also after Kane was revealed to be the third clone.
Yeah. So
It's just that the Clone Saga collection puts this early on for some reason.
Because it's showing more context for what happened to Ben and Kane, but it expects you to know what happened in Clone Saga all the way.
Yeah.
But anyway,
if you've never read Clone Saga before, you're going to be really confused why the rest of the issues act like Kane is this mysterious figure we've never seen before, when you know almost his entire backstory now.
Yeah. But basically what's happening is that there's corrupt crime stuff going on, and Ben and Kane are involved. It's very confusing.
I'll be real. I stopped paying attention at this point.
Yeah, because it's just edgy detective crime stuff, but with two guys who are Spider-Man but not Spider-Man. So
and then in the last issue, Kane starts falling apart and becoming a monster man.
And the person, and he kills the person he fell in love with because she was a double agent. She was an asshole.
Yeah, that's right. She shot him or something.
She shot him and she kidnapped. She was working for the mob or something. So
yeah, which I don't care about any of you. So
and Ben wouldn't even tell her that tell Jacob Raven that also the thing about Ben's girlfriend Janine is that that's not her real name and that she's a killer because she killed her father who was sexually abusing her, and it's
yay.
it's yay, bring that in, why don't you? And also it's I feel like a detective would, okay, well maybe I'm giving the police too much credit here, but because we've seen, we know.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say is that we know. I feel like they could have explained, okay, at least try to explain that, okay, she was vehemently abused for years and then she killed him in self-defense. And that's what happened. And he's like, nope, gonna bring her in. And it's okay, Mr. Raven.
I don't fucking know. I don't.
Yeah, it's just edgy, dark stuff for the sake of being edgy and.
Yeah, and I don't think aside from Jacob, none of these characters appear again anyway. So
Oh yeah, because it ends with Ben and Janine riding off into the sunset, and he's like, it didn't last forever, but we had that, and it's okay, then what happened to her? Not gonna tell you.
What happened was she fell off the bike and wasn't wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
So he just kept going.
That'll be so funny if it's right after just she falls off. Oh god, but yeah, this one was just a weird one. It's this is the one where it kicked with me, and it's this is so far removed from anything that Spider-Man.
Yeah, this isn't Spider-Man book.
Yeah, this is I don't know. It reminds me of the Peter David Ben Reilly book. With Ben being involved with crime and corruption and stuff, but
and being a fucking sociopath.
Yeah, because they could not figure out how to make Ben's personality for a good while.
No, they could not fix him after Clone Conspiracy until Spider-Geddon literally reboots him, basically.
Yeah.
He's back to, literally superior Spider-Man is oh, he got set to, factory default. He's back to normal now.
Oh, God, Spider-Geddon. We gotta... We one day we will do, a double feature or two-parter on, Spider-Verse and Spider-Geddon.
Yeah. Probably whenever the Spider-Verse 2 trailer drops or something.
Probably. Or, do a lead-up to it or whatever. In 2022. Oh, boy. I don't know where I'm going to be in 2022. That's all I'll say. But,
Same.
But anyway, yeah, this whole story is just a
It's
thing.
nothing. It's
It's
nothing.
it's a whole pot of just here's the edgy stuff that happened to Ben and Kane. Whoa, aren't they tragic? Aren't they more tragic than Peter? Aren't they cooler than Peter? And it's like, no,
Not really, no. But
no.
Marvel likes to think that Ben was cooler than Peter at this point, so
Which is why they did the thing where it's like, nope, Ben is the original and he's going to be Spider-Man now until like a couple years where we have to end this thing again.
yeah, because like that's
What
a
was that
this.
theory you were talking about, by the way?
I was about to say this is the last story, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so the theory thing that I had was like even back then, Spider-Man writers and editors hated that Peter and Mary Jane were together. Like
yeah.
like they've tried breaking them up before, and fans are like, "No, stop. We like them together," and so they just always come back. So my idea is like the reason that Ben Riley was brought back in the first place was to give us the young, hip, unmarried Spider-Man back,
Yeah.
and just get rid of Peter, so we can have the solo Spidey back without deal with the devil undoing decades of continuity.
So that's why they made Peter such an asshole and not
Yeah,
like
to
Peter at
make
all.
Ben look good by comparison. Peter's a
Yeah.
psychopathic asshole who beat his wife across a room later on in the story.
Oh God.
Like that was Hank Pym level shit there. Like it was bad.
Oh God.
I kind of feel
Okay.
bad for Hank because like he's remembered for that one thing forever, and
And
at
wasn't that
least
whole thing like a mistake? Wasn't it like a
yeah, it was
mistake?
a miscommunication between the writer and artist.
Like it wasn't supposed to be him hitting her.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't supposed to be the case. But the artist drew what he thought the writer asked, and
And then
that
they
became
just
Hank's character for the rest of his existence.
and they decided to never make him a scroll or something or like corrupted by an evil thing. Whatever.
No,
They
when
just
they could have very no. Instead, he's fucking bipolar, and that's the explanation.
at least the MCU is like, nope, Hank wasn't an abuser. Like
Nah, he's just kind of a dick.
I was scared when seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp because I was like, oh God, are they gonna have like Janet come back and be like, oh fuck you, Hank, you abused me?
Yeah,
Because
I
I
was kind of scared they were gonna do that, but thankfully they did not go that route.
that's the
And
one time I'm very thankful that Disney's family-friendly intuition came in. Because
yeah, like
ugh,
I saw people were mad that Hank wasn't an abusive asshole like in the books, and it's like no one likes that. Why would they do that in the movie?
because because apparently every comic is like the Bible, and you have to stick to it even if it's bad.
Yeah,
Just look at
like
Civil War when everybody was like, when everybody collectively agreed it was bad, and then the Civil War movie came out, and they're like, why didn't they do this from the comic? It's terrible. And then after a while, we were like, okay, yeah, Civil War is bad.
yeah, like guys, I'm sorry. I love comic books. Comics do stupid shit a lot of the time. Like
Yeah,
they can be very bad, as we have discussed for the past hour.
yeah. Uh,
Like,
like
do you want this in a movie?
like if MCU did Clone Saga at some point, which Tom Holland has said he wants to do eventually, which I don't blame him.
Has he?
Would you yeah, he has. He said it
Oh,
like during the press for Homecoming a couple years ago.
oh, oh.
But I think he knows well enough that the thing is a mess, and he probably wants to take the
They'll
concept and do it better.
they'll probably do something more akin to Ultimate.
Which, hint, hint about what's to come for March of the
Yeah,
Clones soon. But
but
yeah,
yeah, I feel like they'll do something like that, and I
just with
wouldn't.
just with 616 Ben and King.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Ben and Kane were in instead of Jessica Drew, because they are planning a Jessica Drew movie right now after fucking years of never touching her for no
Which
reason.
I'm half excited and half kind of sad because I honestly really wanted the MCU to do Ultimate Jessica Drew because I think that would have been cool. Because
Yeah, no,
Ultimate
Ultimate.
Jessica Drew is really cool.
She's awesome. She's one of the best parts of Ultimate that I wish got to stick around like Miles did.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, uh, yeah. So like, if Clone Saga does get adapted into a movie, would you all really be mad if they don't do it like exactly to a T, where Peter is going insane and calling himself the Spider?
I will. I will be able to sleep at night if we never do this.
Yeah. So just a penny for everybody's thoughts who's listening. But
Yeah.
we have ripped this thing off like a band-aid. Um,
After
that
6 hours of trying to peel it off.
yeah. Fuck. But anyway, Clone Saga was a very infamous event. It lasted way too long. So if it can last way too long, why can't we? So
Yeah.
we'll continue talking about 616 Clone Saga next year.
Yep.
Because
We'll be
by
back.
God, we need to recover from this. And
Yeah.
we gotta ensure the longevity of this podcast. So
Yeah.
anyway.
So we're done with this shit for tonight.
But the next two episodes we're gonna talk about fun stuff. Stuff that's
Yeah, we're
actually
gonna talk.
good.
We're gonna talk about stuff we like.
Yeah. But last thoughts on this beginning to the Clone Saga.
It's a mess. It's weird. It's not Spider-Man, and it's only gonna get more like this as it goes on.
Yeah, because from the get-go, because like originally people were like, oh, Clone Saga started off good, and then it just got way too long and convoluted. And starting this, I'm like, it's already way too long and convoluted. Like, this is not Peter, this is not Spider-Man, this is just a mess already.
Yeah, no, this is
So, yeah. So, we have ripped that band-aid off. We have several more to go, but though we'll save those for the coming years in the future. We're gonna Kevin Feige this thing and
This
do
is
our
the only part of phase one,
yeah.
people.
This is phase one of March of the Clones. Um, so uh, thank you all for listening. Um, we were very tired. We have done this for so long today, and at least we'll be able to talk about fun clone stuff. So
Yeah.
last words from you, Brian.
Thank you, Craig, for not fucking up this time.
Thank you. Watch, it's gonna fuck up right before we finish.
Go read Immortal Hulk, people. It's a better
Yeah,
story than this.
yeah. All I got to say is The Last of Us TV show. I'm very excited for it. I'm gonna
Oh
get
yeah,
HBO just for that and that alone. Um,
I'm like tempted to
also,
get HBO Max for Green Lantern.
yeah, honestly, HBO Max is gonna be the same price as like HBO is right now, and regular
Yeah,
HBO is gonna go
yeah, it's
down,
like
which I think is good.
yeah, like last I heard, it was like $15 or something.
Yeah, HBO is 15 a month, but HBO Max is gonna be 15 a month, and then like regular HBO is gonna be less. So anybody who has HBO right now will just get HBO Max for free. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So basically, fun
I'll
fact.
find another way to watch Green Lantern then, because that's expensive as fuck.
Yeah. Fun fact. Craig Mazin, who made Chernobyl, the award-winning TV series, who is working on the Last of Us TV series, wrote and directed a little movie that we may or may not talk about soon. For a certain holiday coming up. So
Yeah.
hint hint, stay tuned. So anyway, thank you all so much for listening to this first episode of March Clones. This is episode 103. Because we were going to start last week, but we both had midterms, so
Well, you had
we.
midterms. I just had a shitty week.
Oh yeah. We'll count it as midterms for you though, because
It may as well have been. It was like 8
yeah,
classes in a row.
yeah. So Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening once again. My name is Alec. I'm one of your hosts. You can follow me at _ the smart Alec on Twitter.
And I'm Brian. You can follow me at Red L Reviews on Twitter.
And if you want to follow our podcast on Twitter, you can follow at LOTE_podcast. If you want to follow on Comics Ground on Twitter, you can follow at on Comics Ground. And if you want to go to our website, we post daily reviews, news, editorials, and jazz. So, this is our first March of the Clones episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next. We'll catch you in the next web. That's the outro I decided on. I forgot about it for a sec.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Bye.
Bye.